Hey friends, the Keto ND, Dr. G here live, and Happy New Year. So it's been a little while, took a few weeks off here from any live stream, and I'm gonna do a quick catch up here. So I've got a lot of mess behind me, don't I? Anyway, I hope the new year started out well with you, and I'm gonna start this video actually with a little physical exam. So I've noticed that I'm able to be very sensitive to when I feel I'm in ketosis, and of course sometimes that feels a little disconcerting when you're not used to it. Coming out of the holidays, of course, I'm like many of us had indulged a little bit more in the carbohydrates, and so I'm going to be checking my blood sugar and ketones here, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do a whole 9 yards with temp and pulse oximeter, etc. So one thing I've noticed is that I just feel warmer when I'm in ketosis, which is great when the weather is 25 degrees outside. Actually, today we're probably in the mid-30s, which has been mild. We've been getting rain and ice and such, 98.4. I feel warmer than that, but that's certainly normal. Let's try the other side. First time on live broadcast that I'm doing that. So 98. So I'm running a little over 98 degrees, I'm sure. All fine and good. Pulse oximeter in my pulse here as well. So I'll let that go, and I'm going to get my ketone and glucometer set up. And I'll do a little bit on just kind of mention a couple things. I'm working on a newsletter that I'll be putting out here momentarily. So 98%, my pulse is at 74 beats per minute. Not bad considering I'm on live television. Not that anybody's watching right now. Yeah, pulse looks steady. All I've had today, I had some macadamia nuts. I had a Cocommune bar from Designs for Health, which is pretty keto friendly, and I'm drinking bulletproof coffee. So let's do this glucometer, get this thing over with. Of course, I hate sticking my finger, but I think if you like it, there's something wrong with you, but it's pretty painless. So I hope you are having a good New Year so far, and maybe have set some resolutions and some goals. I'm still working on mine. Actually, I guess I could just jump right in and disclose one of the ones that I'm doing is sleep. So I'm attempting to set a earlier bedtime and to strive for the 8-hour magic number of sleep every night. And if I can do that 5 days a week, that's my goal for a good start. I'm actually 3 days in, very close to that goal. Started on Tuesday. So yeah, anyway. And then of course I'm trying to get into sticking with a better routine with ketosis, etc. And let's see, good, it's worked. Oops, that didn't stand by. Should have grabbed another cotton ball. I had one with alcohol in it, and you don't really want to mix alcohol with your blood sample. So if you've watched my other videos, you know I've been eating some stuff and testing my ketones in the morning in the videos so that you can kind of see the process. I have other videos I've gone through how to do this. Ketones 1.8, that would explain why I feel the way I do. So again, above 0.6 to 0.7 and above is good. So when I get to above 1, I can really feel that. My face gets warm. I feel, it's kind of funny, but I would say it feels a little bit like when you drank alcohol, except for the fact it does not make you feel silly and kind of numb your head. It actually makes you sharper. Yeah, it's interesting. So my blood sugar is actually at 85, and that's certainly fine. It's a little bit higher than I typically will see. So I might just check that one more time. Yeah, watch me step away from the camera. I'm going to attempt to do a quick retake on that. I just, if you don't like the results, just do it again until you do like them. Just at the outstanding chance that, of course, it looks like my blood's clotting really well. There we go. Almost didn't get. I use a lancet that's just enough to give you what you need and not go too deep. Keep bleeding. See, that's interesting. So some variability there. Not sure why, but an 85 and now 78. This is more of what I would have expected based on how I was feeling. A lot of times if your ketones are high because you're supplementing with ketones, but your blood sugar is high because of possibly your diet, or if you have some metabolic things going on, as I've discussed that in further videos. So in my opinion, if you're at like 85 on your blood glucose and above, and despite what your ketones will be, you won't feel necessarily the same benefits, effects. Now, you do have benefits from ketones. Even when your blood sugar is high, you have higher ketones. We know it has a therapeutic benefit, but if you really want to feel the best, it's really having a blood sugar below 80 typically and a ketone level above 0.7. So so 78, and I had a 1 point, let's see, what was it? Look at the memory here. Was it 1.3? Let's see, it was 85. 1.8. Yeah, so that's great. Yeah, anyway, okay, so moving along. So my little exam, it turned out okay. No crises here. I did feel, I think what's weird is that you can almost feel, this is my experience, some people might be different, but I start to feel warm and flushed. Now, I did take a multivitamin, which I'm using in a shake form. It's a powder, and it has niacin in it. Of course, and anytime you take niacin or nicotinic acid, the flushing can happen. So I get a little bit of that sometimes, and that might have contributed to the way I was feeling. But I almost felt like I was, if you were hyperventilating, it was almost a mild lightheadedness, no dizziness, but it was. And then I drank some water and just kind of like breathed through that. And I was like, oh, okay, no, I'm fine. In fact, it's kind of this mental acuity that's disconcerting when you coming out of your holiday binge. No, I didn't binge, but it was just a little bit higher on the carb count, definitely. Okay, so I'll wrap up pretty quick here. I just wanted to announce a couple of things. One is that I am going to be throwing together a newsletter, and I'm going to start trying to do a little more consistent with that, some topics to cover. It'll be kind of a 3-part. In each newsletter, there'll be 3 sections, kind of mind, body, and spirit is my thoughts. It's kind of the heart of naturopathic medicine, and I want to kind of make sure, just feeling like going back to some basics in terms of how vitally important it is that we are supporting ourselves in a holistic way. And sometimes we get very caught up in the physical, in the world and how we look and obviously how we feel. But both our appearance and our internal health and how we feel is really connected to our mental, emotional, and our spiritual state. And so I'm going to have some sections on that and just kind of encourage that we all make sure we nurture that part of our lives, because our physical well-being is only going to be as healthy as our mental, emotional, and spiritual side. So we'll be touching on those topics. In addition to that, some specific conditions I'm going to cover in this newsletter will be cognitive function in Alzheimer's and dementia. Certainly an important topic that we all need to be aware of, and some really good things to know about that. Included in that, I'm going to talk about coffee and caffeine. I'll also be talking about a wonderful plant substance called resveratrol. That is a polyphenol, or it's a plant compound that's been well researched and has a lot of health benefits, including cognitive function. And yeah, so anyway, I'll be covering those two items, and watch for that. If you're not on the newsletter email list, it's real easy to sign up. Go to our webpage. Of course, our logo up there in the video, Naturopathic Med. The website is abbreviated as natpathmed.com. That's NATPATHMED.com. And on the front page, the home page, you should see a little spot box for you to punch in your email address to get on the mailing list, and that puts you right in, and you should be able to get that. Hoping to get that out actually this week. So yeah, anyway, feel free to peruse my other videos and to comment below how your new year's going, and any topics you'd like to see me cover, please comment there below. Feel free to subscribe, and there should be a link that pops up here with some links to other videos. So again, get on your low carb, high fat diets with me here. I can't say enough about it, and it's not a all or nothing. It's really clear now that if we can clear out the excessive amount of grains and sugars that we eat, and we don't overdo the fruit, we're going to be usually a lot better off. So yeah, got a lot of support videos on that and such. So we'll see you later. And again, I thank you for watching. Take care.